Hello besties, it is Becky here with Bestie Becky's Crafts, and it's still Christmas in July. Even though we aren't doing the 12 days of Christmas, I have a cute little Christmas idea for you. And it's this cute little milk carton. Isn't it cute? It's so tiny. And you open it up and it opens up like that, and you've got space in there to put a little gift or some candy. And then I just use a clothespin on the top and glued a felt sticker on it, and you got a cute little gift. And I also think it would be cute as an advent calendar. You could just put the numbers on the front, and the kids could open one each day. Or another idea is making a tree shape out of these boxes by gluing them together on their sides, having, I don't know, 4 or 5 brown ones on the bottom, and having them face this way so that the kids have to open them this way to get to the gift. So you'd be gluing them together on like a bottom and a side. So you'd have the brown ones at the bottom, and then you would build up to a tree up to day 25 for Christmas. And you could hang the numbers off from like using those mini clips, those metal ones, and attaching the tag to that and having it hang. So I think that would be a cute idea, and then just put a big bow on the top or something like that. So, I think this would make a cute advent calendar as well as just little gifts. So let's go ahead and make one. And you will need a piece of paper that is 5.5, let me zoom out here, 5.5 by 8.25. So you could get 2 milk cartons out of one piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Alright, so that was 5.5 inches by 8.25 inches. And then we're going to do some scoring, and actually kind of quite a bit of scoring, but really easy scoring. So here's my scoreboard. Alright, and on our 8.25 inch side, we're going to score at 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, and 8 inches. So again, that was the 8.25 inch side, score at 2, 4, 6, and 8. Easy to remember, right? And then we're going to rotate to the 5.5 inch side, and we're going to do some score lines there. We're going to score at 1.5, 3.5, and 5. And now we are going to turn our paper back. Well, I'll review those again. That was 1.5, 3.5, and 5. Alright, and then we're going to rotate back up to where you'll notice that last score we did, it gives us a 1/2 inch here, because the score line for the 5 inch is right here. So that gives us a little 1/2 inch up there. 1/2 inch? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do some scoring up here, and this might seem a little tricky, but it's really not. So on this side, it's the 8.25 inch side with the smallest score area up here at the top. We're going to score at 1 inch, and we're going to score just down to that score line. So we're just scoring a 1/2 inch. And then we're going to go over to 5 inches, and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to score down to that 1/4 inch. Or 1/2 inch. Okay? So we scored at 1 inch and 5 inch, just down to that first score line. So now we're done with this scoreboard, but we need to do just a few more scores. And for that, I'm going to bring over my handy dandy mouse pad so I have something to, you know, some surface that's a little squishy to do my scoring on, since I need to use a ruler and an embossing tool. And we are going to, from where we made that 5-inch score line, that's just a ½ an inch, we are going to take our ruler and we're going to line it up with that mark. Let me zoom in here. We're going to line up with that mark and score down to this corner, which is our 3.5 inch score line. Alright, so hope that makes sense to you. So I'm going to put my embossing tool right in that corner and line up the top of my ruler with that ½ an inch score line and make a mark. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come over here to the other side, put my scoring tool in that corner and line it up with that ½ inch, and I'm making a triangle. And then over here where we scored at 1 inch, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put our embossing tool in that corner and we're going to, don't move on me, and we're going to score up to that ½ an inch mark we made at that 1 inch score. Alright, and then this is the tricky one because we're going off the paper, so easiest just to kind of line up here at the top till you're going off paper. Alright, so now we're done scoring, and I don't need my mouse pad anymore. And so basically what we did is this, and I hope this kind of helps you understand all of our scoring. So this is the 8¼ inch side, and this is the 5½ inch side, and this is where we scored at 2, 4, 6, and 8. And then this is where we scored at 1½, 3½, and 5. And then we turned it back and scored at 1 inch, just to that first score line, and at 5 inches to that first score line. And then we made our little triangles going down to the 3½ inch score line. Okay? So it looks like that. Alright? So, now we need to do some cutting, because we're making a box. So you got to cut off some of these end pieces, right? So what we're going to cut off, I'm going to bring this back. What we're going to cut off is we're going to cut off this triangle. I should know my shapes, right? We're going to cut off this rectangle down here and this rectangle up here, and then we're going to angle cut this little tab like so. Alright, and then we are going to cut up each of these bottom scored lines, because we're going to make the bottom of the box. So we're going to cut up each of those, and then we're going to angle. We're going to do our little angle cut. Fun, fun, fun. I mean, you guys have done this before. It's not hard. And then don't forget that last angle cut over there. And those are pretty big angles. You don't have to do angles that big. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. It's kind of weird. So, let's do our cutting. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off that bottom rectangle. That's a ½ an inch by 1½. Yeah. Like so. And I'm going to go ahead and do my angle cut right now while I'm there. And then I'm going to cut off this top little ½ inch by 1/4" rectangle. And then I'm going to go ahead and angle cut that little flap. Alright, now we're going to cut up these. I don't know, I always cut it up first. I don't know why. Just that first score line, which again is the 1.5. And then we're going to do our little angle cut. And make sure I'm still in frame here. Doesn't have to be a big one. Not like what I drew out. It's like it doesn't want to cooperate with me here. I'm like, I'm trying to cut here. Cooperate. And this would be cute for like any little party favor or something, like for birthday. Not just Christmas. You could use it as like countdown to Halloween, you know, countdown to someone's birthday, something like that. Everybody likes that, right? Any celebration. Alright, and then my last one. And then the fun begins. Okay, so there's my last one. There's all our cutting, all of our scoring, and now let's fold on our score lines and furnish. So I'm just going to start at one end and work my way down. So there's my little 1/4" and I don't know, my 2". No, actually that'd be my 8". Alright, so there's those, and now let's fold up all of our bottom tabs. I'm going to go ahead and fold them up and just score them all at once. Like so. I thought I saw a paper hanging around. Yep, I did. Alright, and now I'm going to score on my 3.5" line. Yep. Alright, and then I got my little top piece here. I'm going to go ahead and bend him. Alright. So, now let's put him together. So, I'm going to use my good old tearaway tape, and this is 1/4". It should fit. If it goes over the edge a little bit, that's alright. I'll just, you know, when I remove the backing, just roll it under a little bit and we'll be fine. Alright. So there's our tearaway tape. And go ahead and remove that. And like I said, any that's sticking over the edge, just roll it back over onto itself, just like that. So stuff you put inside doesn't stick. I put a lot on this time. Okay, and then all you do is fold that one over, fold the other one over, and you have yourself the start of a milk carton. Isn't that cute? Alright, so I I find it easier to go ahead and put the decorative paper on first before I make the box. It just makes it easier than trying to glue on a box, right? So you will need, for this part of the box, 4 pieces cut 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. Okay, so I have those. I chose this paper right here, and so I'm going to go ahead and glue these. And I'm just going to use my tape runner. Get these all taped up. Hopefully I don't run out. I think I'll be good. Alright. And I just picked, there's no pattern to it, which is great, but if there was, keep that in mind when you glue. And then I'm just going to center it in that box. That square. Do the same with the other 2. Pretty easy. Okay, so we have our bottom pieces done. So now what about these pieces? Good question. So we need 2 pieces of these cut at 1 3/4 by 1 1/4. I had to check. So they're 1 3/4 by 1 1/4. So this is a great way to use up your little scraps of, you know, Christmas paper. I used a piece of 6 by 6 inch paper, and I still had quite a bit left. So, great way to use up your scraps. So, where are you going to glue these? Well, you're going to glue them where there are no score lines, because we have our triangle score lines. I don't know if you can see. Remember our triangle score lines? So we're going to glue these in the 2 places that don't have any score lines. So it's right here, because there's my triangle. Now I'm going to flip it over, and here's my triangle score. That one was really stuck to my finger. And there's that one. Alright, so let's put the bottom of our box together. Easy, right? Now, I want to keep in mind where there's my seam. So, I want to keep that to the back, just because it's a seam and nobody wants to see that. So, it's scored here, which you can tell because there's no paper. But here's our seam line. So, like I said, I want to keep that to the back. So, I'm going to go ahead and push these 2 side pieces in, and then I'm going to go this way. Okay? So, I want to put a little bit of tape on one of them that's folding over the side. Can you see that? It's kind of awkward. So, I'm just going to put those 2 together, like so. And then I want this piece to go to the back. And you know, I'm sorry, I want this piece to go down first, and then this piece. And you know, it's really not that big of a deal. So, it's really not that big of a worry. That's just me. It's just how I craft. And if you get to know me, you'll figure that out pretty quick, that I have little weird, you know. Anyway, so I'm just using a pencil push it all down. Good old eraser. Alright, so now we need to do the sides of our box. So, actually pretty easy. You're just going to push them in. And they're just going to kind of do their thing. And if you do both sides at the same time, they do. They just kind of do their own thing. And then you can just, you know, kind of reinforce it. But isn't that simple? I mean, all I did was just push in both sides at the same time. And then you've got the top of your box. And then you just, you know, you take your clothespin and there you go. You have a milk carton. Cute, huh? Look at these. I know they don't match, but little snowflake. They're cute. So, another easy, quick craft. You get your kids to help. Maybe after you've scored everything, right? Depending on their age. So, there are my mini milk cartons. Adorbs. So, if you like what you saw today, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And go ahead and tap on that bell too if you want to get notifications of any new videos I have coming out. Also, check the description box below and you'll find out where you can find me, like on Instagram, etc. And check out my Facebook group along with my bestie Irina. It's called Fun Life on a Budget, featuring Bestie Becky, and we would love to have you join. It's a fun little group. We do swaps, and you can post stuff that you've made, and it's just a great group, very supportive people. And also check out my bestie's YouTube channel. Again, her name was Irina, and her channel is Fun Life on a Budget. I will leave a link to that below, and I think that's it. So, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed today's craft. Give it a try, and I will see you next time. Happy crafting. Bye.